What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Jim Gordon number 10. Now, you might be wondering, why am I calling it the Jim Gordon instead of the Joker? Well, that's because this isn't a Joker book. This is just Jim Gordon. Joker needs to be a bigger factor in the story. I love Jim Gordon, I really do, but this just feels like false advertising at this point. Yes, like his presence looms over the story, but Joker is once again not in this thing. Why even title this book The Joker if you're just not going to really showcase the Joker? Yes, this is dealing with the aftermath of the Killing Joke, and we see more of Jim Gordon's past with his family life and how the Joker has just left an impact on pretty much every aspect of it. He's like a curse on the Gordon family. He shot and paralyzed Barbara Gordon. He kind of messed his son, James Gordon Jr., who is also a serial killer who's dead at this point, kind of became obsessed with him, and you can see how that left an impact and kind of ruined his life a little bit. And you see more stuff with Jim's marriage kind of in shambles, and his whole thing with the police thing, and how he really should be spending time trying to help his family, but he really didn't. He was kind of too in tune with his work. So that's pretty much the gist of this story. It's another flashback issue, which, why couldn't this have just been the annual? Why does this have to be the next chapter in this thing? I feel like I'm done with the flashbacks. I get it. I've gotten plenty of Jim Gordon stuff to kind of know in tune with why everything kind of became messed up with his family. I get it. I get the Joker has been a plague on his life. I've really kind of gotten that with all the other stuff. This really should have been the annual rather than the storyline that we got. We get it. Joker is an asshole. He's messed with Jim Gordon's life. He's messed with Barbara Gordon's. It had an impact on his son and his marriage and everything. I get it. I really do. And I get this is dealing with the consequences or the fallout of the Killing Joke and stuff like that. And we also see that Batman's a little bit protective of Jim. We get some kind of nice little flashback moments with Renee Montoya. And yeah, that's kind of neat and interesting. But at the same time, I kind of want the story to pick up its momentum. I don't really know why we needed a flashback issue once again. I feel like we've gotten this kind of plenty of times, and I think it might be a good idea to have a Joker in your Joker book. I don't know, the storyline itself is fine. I'm just at this point, just maybe I'm a little bit impatient, and I do feel like you really should have just titled this book Jim Gordon, because the Joker should be a bigger factor in the storyline. And yeah, he has a looming presence, but I feel like we've hardly gotten any Joker in the Joker book. Like I said, he doesn't even physically make an appearance in this issue. We don't really get to see James Gordon Jr. and the Joker really interacting. It's a copycat. So that's a bit disappointing for me. In terms of the story, like I said, this was written by James Tynion and Matthew Rosenberg, with Francesco Franciavilla's art and colors. I really like the colors, though. I think that's the most striking thing about this. I think the colors, it definitely gives me a bit, I don't know, that's a weird thing to say, almost like an Argento type vibe with it. I love the colors and how everything is just kind of stylized and looking unique. Like I said, the colors to me, and just the colors and art combination, I think it really kind of visually gives the book a unique look, which I found really fascinating. So that's my favorite aspect of the issue itself, is just kind of the colors and the art per se. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of unique. I just love the style there and the different lighting. I really like that. It kind of gives a unique style to it, which I thought made it a little bit more exciting to look at visually. But the story itself, like I said, it's not a bad story. I'm just at the point where I'm why do we need another flashback issue instead of just kind of carrying the momentum forward? That's just kind of where I'm at. Also, we have the backup storyline written by Tynion and Sam Johns about Kelly Ness and Punchline and Harper Row, and how Punchline's just kind of everywhere and just ruining this girl's life, which we kind of already know. And that's kind of just the gist of the storyline there. It's not really the strongest. The art was done by Balin Ortega, so it wasn't done by Sweeney Boo this time around. The artwork still looks nice, but I'm just really not too into the Punchline storyline. That's just kind of me. It's just kind of okay. We're still it's still ongoing. So if you're really into it, at least with the backup, they're actually taking their time with it, and it feels like a real long-term ongoing storyline. So instead of just like something just kind of brief to set up something else. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of a little bit tired of all these backup storylines and these various Batman related books. I feel like they're just there to kind of like, I don't know, like I feel like those should be storylines maybe saved for urban legends or Detective Comics, and just kind of like really just put them all in like one issue or something, instead of just kind of needlessly padding them out for like 20 issues or something like that. I don't know, that's just kind of me. I just wish they would have done a little bit something differently. I feel like I don't really need the backups in a lot of these stories anymore. So maybe you're into them, but I'm just not. So that's just kind of where I'm at. But anyways, so my thoughts are kind of a little bit all over the place with the Jim Gordon issue 10. I'm sorry, the Joker number 10. Like it's not a bad storyline. Like all things considered, like as a standalone story, I think it works. It's just a matter of having this Joker book just being without hardly any Joker, and I just don't really get why we needed this flashback issue. Like I kind of already get the point with Jim Gordon. This should have just been the annual, if I'm being honest. Like this whole James Gordon Jr. and all that, this should have been saved for the annual rather than just issue 10. I think it would have been better. Like I said, the annual is just kind of meaningless. Like this would have just been better saved for an annual rather than just cutting the momentum of the book once again to showcase stuff that we kind of already know. But I guess the only other thing is like we see the Joker impacted James Gordon Jr. So yeah, there's that. All right, well, that's all I have to say about the Joker issue number 10. Did you like the issue? Did you dislike the issue? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications like this thing, share with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Be sure to come back next time. I was going to talk about, was it Teen Titans Academy, the latest issue of that. And then probably tomorrow at the time I'm uploading this stuff, I will get to talking about the Batgirls book, because I want to kind of go back and reread the backups that led to that book and then read the issue itself, because I have yet to read Batgirls. So yeah. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.